Happy whatever day of the week it currently is, time for another live commentary. So, on the left we have Dmitry Zherebchenko of Russia, and on the right we have Carlos Llavador of Spain. This is from the round of 16 at the European Championships. So let's go. 3, 2, 1, play. Now, for some extra context for this bout, I saw Llavador's round of 32 bout, and he beat Cassara 15-6, so he's doing insanely well today. I really want to see and catch my live reaction to his next bout, so here we go. Let's see how he handles Zherebchenko. Okay. No one wants to attack yet. Zherebchenko finishes long. One touch for him. So Carlos, in his previous bout with Cassara, he just destroyed him in close with both attacks and more defensive actions. A few counterattacks. Very sharp parry post as well. Here he escapes Zherebchenko. Broken march. Keeps it going though. There's some nice acceleration. Zherebchenko does escape though. Infighting, and who gets that? It's off target to the right. Okay. Yeah, Llavador is just insanely good with that snappy parry post back and forth. Kind of a medium distance for it. Not too close. This is optimal distance. But his footwork is so crisp that he can like get there from pretty much anywhere. Like there. Zherebchenko is able to escape though. Carlos continues and goes off target. So, looks like Carlos is fencing about the same as he did in his previous bout. Parry post, there it is. Good acceleration by Dmitry, but not quite enough. Carlos is still able to pick up the blade as he runs away. I don't know how much time was actually in between this bout and Carlos's previous one, but of course it looks exactly the same. Pretty quick march, finishes long, yep. Zherebchenko tried to counterattack and close out there by the looks of it, but out of space in the back line, not really the best place to be. Carlos is still able to find a way through. Here we go again. Zherebchenko tries to attack off the line. Doesn't pan out though. Now he marches. Look at Carlos standing still. Man, he's gotten insanely fast recently. I've been watching a lot of him. I'm quite a fan. Also as a lefty of not incredibly tall height. Here we go again. Zherebchenko puts out pointed line. Carlos just takes it and starts marching. Tries to finish over the back. No dice. Zherebchenko gets one light with a counterattack. Maybe a little ambitious there by Carlos. Distance wasn't great for that flick, but it can't hurt to try. Again, Zherebchenko finishes really slowly and into a closed line on Carlos's outside as he's taking kind of 3 back there. Just wraps it around, binds the blade, and hits straight. Ooh, is that line? Referee says no. Yeah, he was. It was a little bit late for that to be a pointed line call. Maybe should have taken an extra step back. Carlos marches again. This is a fast-paced bout, 3-3 already. Ooh, Carlos misses. Zherebchenko then able to get one light with that fast flurry of blade work. Dmitry marches. Carlos gets away from it and starts. Again, that march in 3. Almost kind of like a... I know I compare fencers to other fencers a lot, but this is kind of... that march in 3 reminds me of Garazzo, but the footwork reminds me, honestly, more of Ota. And yes, I know I'm an Ota fanboy. I keep bringing him up all the time, but I feel like with Llavador it's appropriate. He's got that crisp blade work, got that very sharp footwork. Everything's just da-da-da-da-da. Oh, what are the referees talking about? I didn't see anything particularly out of the ordinary with that one, I don't think. Okay. Rotate the camera. Okay. Again, Carlos easily able to take the blade. Can't quite follow Dmitry out of distance, though. And Dmitry recommits. So that's pretty nice, actually. If Carlos's blade work is as destructive as it has proven to be, yeah, same thing there. Footwork is often the solution to deal with an opponent whose blade work is insurmountable. You can do things to the distance to make their blade work not quite as effective. For example, the previous 2 touches were Dmitry getting away and recommitting, and then a broken time attack. I have no idea what's happening now because the camera isn't showing it, so that's great. But based on that, just adjusting his footwork a little bit, making it harder for Carlos to leverage that super quick parry riposte he's been doing, Also maybe a bit of line changing there by Dimitri. Before he was kind of just finishing directly into Carlos's outside line, which was already closed out with that marching 3. That goes to the right, I feel. Could be wrong about that, though. Might be simultaneous, even. What is the referee going to say? Looks like he's probably looking at the box of his own accord if it's taking this long. I say the box. He's looking at the slow motion. Oh, it goes to the left. So I was wrong. Okay. Carlos has got to change something up to... Okay, takes the blade again. There's got to be careful. You saw that. He accelerated fast. Zherebchenko was ready with an attempted stop hit. Luckily, Carlos didn't run right onto his point, but that was a bit dangerous for him. Certainly something to watch out for in the future. Oh! With a running attack, trying to catch Zherebchenko if he tried that again. Goes off target, though. Bit unlucky there. But pretty good adjustment. That's similar to the one that happened before, which went to Zherebchenko. But this time goes to Carlos. Okay. Guess there was a bit of a difference. I can't separate that, though, myself. Lots of check steps with that front foot by Zherebchenko. Keeps marching. Carlos marches. Displayed nice and back in 3. And finishes. Yeah, that's... I get what he's trying there. Zherebchenko is trying, but that's not a valid parameter to put out the pointed line. If you're going to do it, it's got to be sooner than that relative to the opponent's finish, which usually requires getting away farther so that it takes longer for your opponent to get to you. Also, against Llavador, pointed line is an interesting idea. I wouldn't imagine first intention, though. Maybe to force him to take the blade so you can take it back, like second intention line. First intention seems a bit ambitious. Carlos finishes short. Zherebchenko starts. Carlos parries. Zherebchenko goes off target right through it. Interestingly, we haven't seen Carlos's counterattack yet this bout. Probably because Zherebchenko tends to be pretty straightforward with his attacks like that. He doesn't do anything too crazy offline or oblique finishes. So it's a bit harder to find a good time to slip in a counterattack and not get hit. Carlos with a long and aggressive beat attack. Did he take the blade back, though, at the end? Seems he did. So there were 3 blade contacts in there. I saw the beat attack by Carlos. Zherebchenko took it back. Carlos took it back again. He's got insanely quick blade work in that situation. Okay. Ooh, does he get that? Yeah, I think so. Zherebchenko was off the strip, though. I'm not sure... Okay, so one of 2 things happened. Either Zherebchenko passed before Carlos started that riposte, or he went off the strip before he passed, and the halt was for going off the strip. Functionally, the only difference there is a meter of difference, and based on where they're getting on guard again... Okay, so I heard the referee there. Seems like the riposte was too late after Zherebchenko passed. But they are having quite a talk about this. It would be a critical touch for Llavador to get at this point. Oh, it goes through. Okay. Very nice. And now it's back to being very close. Oh, coach is arguing. Don't do that. Just let the bout continue, man. Alright. Here we go again. Carlos attacks. Zherebchenko escapes. Carlos keeps pushing. Nope. Zherebchenko marches. Carlos marches. Who wants it? Again, the blade work situation here has been very quick, but usually I feel coming out on the side of Carlos once the blade taking back and forth starts. Zherebchenko keeps marching. Can he find... Okay, good distance control by him. Carlos starts forward, though. And that's time. So, very action-packed, blade work-intensive bout so far. Zherebchenko, though, I like his ideas so far. He's been... where his blade work has failed, he's relied on his footwork, which, although Carlos is very sharp and very quick, Zherebchenko is able to vary the tempo of his actions a little bit more, and that's letting him slip through some of these that Carlos would otherwise get. On the other side of things, Carlos is still pretty much playing the same game he did against Cassara, and his usual game, which is like I said before, just a dot, 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 sharp, 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 and uses hand speed to do all the rest. Especially getting away. Hasn't been doing that much counterattacking, but Zherebchenko's pretty hard to counterattack, to be honest. Unless he goes super, super withheld. He has good enough point control that... and he tends to go straight more often than not. Although, as we saw previously, that was kind of to his detriment, because he would go straight right into Carlos's parry. Though this is certainly anyone's match, anyone's bout still. Into the second period. Let's see what happens. Also, Carlos has got quite a fan club behind him. I heard a lot of cheering for him in his bout with Cassara. It seems he's still got those. Zherebchenko attacks. Carlos gets away. More marching from Carlos. Finishes, and it's off target. Again, Carlos opting for that pretty short distance finish, not reaching too long with it, but he's quick enough that he can still catch Dmitry as he runs away. At least he was before. Not that time, though. Okay, so that time Carlos tried to counterattack. Didn't get a light with it, though, and Zherebchenko went off target. Kind of bad luck for him. Okay, more marching. Carlos again parries pretty easily. Carlos accelerating a lot. This is a little bit dangerous for stop it. Nope, takes the blade on the way in. Perfect. Once you get Zherebchenko out of space, there's not really much he can do, and at that point, as soon as Carlos has the blade, he just wins. Because Zherebchenko's defense against that touch relies so much on distance, Carlos pushing him to the end is a great strategy. Zherebchenko keeps marching, though. Carlos puts out line and then takes the blade. Oh, Zherebchenko tries to stop it, but again, Carlos' footwork is sharp enough. He can catch him there. Goes off target, though. Zherebchenko with a tactical weapon swap. Even though he did turn on a light there, this is almost certainly a psychological thing for him, or just to give him more time to think. Something along those lines. So, ooh, nice shot at the crowd there. I don't know if those are all Llavador fans or not. Alright, here we go again. So, Dmitry should have come up with something to something tactical in this break, hopefully. It'd be a bit of a waste otherwise. Wonder what he's going to do here. Like we saw before, he's able to kind of get away from Carlos, but like right at the start of it where he's still a little bit close, that's when Carlos can get... Ooh, attack off the line! Carlos was not expecting that. His blade work is fast enough that he can win in that situation, but he just wasn't ready. Zherebchenko goes indirect that time. Carlos still finds a piece of the blade, I guess. Or perhaps not. Okay. Carlos with the beats, takes the blade. Accelerates, but Zherebchenko gets away, and I can't see anything. And Zherebchenko runs past him, and there's another parry post. Now that one... Okay, still goes through. I was going to say, that one looked even a little bit further past than the previous one, compared to when the repose took place. offers his... I'm sorry I hit you there, my friend. Offers his condolences for getting hit in such epic fashion. I'm sure it was actually for hitting him, but for like body contact. That was always nice to see some sportsmanship, though. Oh, okay. So, actually, there is a case to be made for that. If he wants video review, he could... Yeah. So, if... It may be the ref actually called halt a little bit late there, because if there was body contact, then the halt would occur before the riposte goes through. I need to see the slow motion, though. I didn't actually hear when the referee said halt relative to that action. If you said halt for the stepping past, then that is... Carlos's touch is legal. Is that an injury timeout by Zherebchenko? I don't know. Seems he did get hit by... or is that an injury? Well, Carlos is sitting down. I don't know what's up. Okay, it's Zherebchenko. As the medical personnel arrive on site. Seems he took a bit of a blow with his with that previous exchange there as he tries to run past. So previous bouts that this has happened, it's gotten pretty boring because there's not really much dissection of the tactics I can do during the entire 10-minute injury timeout. So I might fast forward this in post. If I do, you'll probably see it happen now. Hey, it's me from the future again, and that is absolutely right. I believe what happened there is Carlos hit Zherebchenko in the back of the head with his weapon as he landed that riposte. Nothing too serious though, Zherebchenko's back on his feet before too long. Alright, it is the da-da-da-da-da-da chant with the crowd clapping on 1 and 3, as as crowds are wont to do, I guess. And it looks like we're back. Crowd chanting Llavador, Llavador. Very supportive. Alright, so Zherebchenko had an injury timeout, but we are back with the fencing. We'll see if he's greatly affected by the injury. I should think not. Still with a strong beat attack, Llavador able to take the blade, finishes short. Zherebchenko escapes, starts again. Llavador takes it back over though, finishes short once more. Seems like all of his finishers are short, which is pretty typical for him. Okay. He's got to find a way to break into the distance though to deliver it. And no, Zherebchenko gets a counterattack, or more like a stop hit, honestly. Time distance was a little bit longer, I think, than Carlos was expecting. Zherebchenko putting in a bit more effort to run away that time as well. Okay, march, and oh, Llavador tries to counterattack, but as I said before, Zherebchenko's point control is good enough, and he tends to be forward enough with the blade that he's almost immune to counterattacking at that distance and that timing. So maybe not the great decision by Carlos there. His parry post was the... Oh, he's off the strip! No! Oh no, he's letting the bout get away from him so fast now. That was a touch he could or a point he could definitely do without. That is unfortunate. Okay. More blade work in the middle. Oh, that should have been Carlos's, but Zherebchenko somehow able to find the blade. And a counterattack attempt with a twist by Zherebchenko. This bout is going super fast. The camera can't even keep up. Llavador goes off target though as he goes past. So it's kind of a like battle here between can Carlos go fast enough to catch Zherebchenko even with a short lunge like he likes to do, versus if he goes too fast, Zherebchenko can counterattack like that. Who gets that touch? Goes to Carlos. Okay, 13-11. Kind of dangerous for Carlos now, though. That backline thing really kind of... Oh, what's the... At 13-11, I guess you can go for it, for a video review there. I kind of agree with the referee's first assessment of this, though. It did feel kind of like Carlos's. And I think the referee's going to uphold that. Yep. Here we go again. Again, short finish with the remise. So, Zherebchenko is able to find the parry now, which is quite good for him. But again, Carlos's blade work at that distance is just a little bit too fast for him. Able to get a remise and kind of close out in 4 right afterwards. But that's the kind of action Carlos wants. If Zherebchenko hangs around in distance like he did there, then Carlos is pretty much set. It's just a case of getting to that distance and keeping Zherebchenko there that's the problem. Earlier we saw that Carlos tried to push him back to the very end to prevent him from running away. But if he's not able to, then he kind of relies on Zherebchenko to try to parry post in close like that, which he isn't guaranteed to do. Carlos keeps marching. Stays on the blade a lot. Zherebchenko out of space, but pushes back. And it goes to infighting. Okay, Zherebchenko needs to be careful he doesn't run out of space. Keeps pushing. Carlos gets away. Tries it. Oh, one line into a twisty counterattack. Interesting idea. Carlos was going pretty slowly there, though, so he had time. Zherebchenko can't really just guess that Carlos is going to rush, though, either. That's another thing. If Carlos starts slow, then it could be a problem. Oh, that time he rushes, though, but they're already past by the time the jabby blade work battle happens. That was, to be fair, a little bit sloppy by both. They're both kind of rushing with their feet and a little bit late with the hands. But I mean, this is a super high-octane bout right now, so I really don't blame them. If you have to keep the energy high and sacrifice your blade work to do it, absolutely go for it. At least if you're these two. Carlos finishes a little longer that time than before. Oh, he misses! And Zherebchenko's mass cord goes flying. As for the blade test, sure, why not? But it works. That is unfortunate. 14-12. Dicey situation, of course. Now Carlos is going to switch weapons too. Definitely a tactical swap on his part. That weapon was clearly shown to work, but this gives him a little more time to think up something. He's got to keep his fencing watertight, though. Zherebchenko, of course, only needs one to hit. So Carlos has got to be really on the ball with how fast he decides to go, especially at the start of these actions when he's been more vulnerable. Okay, another test. Here we go again. Will this be the end? I hope not. I'm rooting for Carlos, honestly. I'm trying to be unbiased. But he goes off target right off the line there. Zherebchenko finishes long, but Carlos escapes. How's he going to start? Slow or fast? Looks like pretty slow so far. Gives it away. Oh, stays in distance looking for second tension. No dice, though. Keeps pushing through with the blade. This is good for Carlos. Halt is called before he can find a touch, though. Zherebchenko was really close to going off the side of the strip, and at that distance, going off the side means you end up off the strip, and that's a free touch or a free point for Carlos. So he's got to be very careful not to go diagonally backwards. He's got to go straight back and hang on the edge. But here, Carlos lets him push. Zherebchenko goes super withheld, and I guess that was a counterattack for Carlos because I didn't hear a blade contact. But again, Zherebchenko was rushing a bit there. It didn't feel as organized as you're used to seeing. As you saw before, Zherebchenko is, if he goes at his preferred tempo, he's pretty much immune to that twisty counterattack. If he rushes like he did there, then he opens himself up to it a lot more. So perhaps Carlos is trying to keep the tempo of the bout fast to open Zherebchenko up to that weakness. Who knows? More marching from Carlos. Cross step forward and catches him. Wow. Very nice acceleration there. And again, Carlos likes the short lunge finish. Not so much a cross step forward, but there, great idea to do it as Zherebchenko tries to stop it. I'm not sure if that was a read or just a guess, but it worked out no matter what. Carlos keeps marching. Zherebchenko turns it around. Point and line set up by Carlos. I imagine it's going to be for parry or post. There it is. Takes the blade and starts himself. Again, cross step forward. Pulls it up, though. Very smart. Don't want to impale yourself after the first one falls short. Zherebchenko point and line. Oh, no! Carlos pulls his blade too far back as he steps forward, and Zherebchenko sneaks in another counterattack to win 15-13. Wow, that was a heck of a bout, though. Very fast, very action-packed, very blade work focused. Maybe a blast from the past in that respect. But yeah, great tactical work by Zherebchenko, using his entire skill set of both footwork and blade work to overcome Carlos's extreme speed and precision. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Sorry for the injury timeout that I probably have to fast forward in post. But, as always, until next time, stay sharp.